All right, guys, some more chat GPT questioning of George Soros. So something in a book I was reading about him. It's a stupid little kid. Anyway, I asked chat GPT something I didn't understand when I was reading George Soros, his book. I asked chat GPT, what is George Soros' human uncertainty principle versus the theory of perfect competition? So George Soros' human uncertainty principle versus the theory of perfect competition. George Soros' human uncertainty principle challenges the traditional economic assumption of rational actors and perfect markets, while the theory of perfect competition assumes that markets operate efficiently with fully rational participants. And what is meant in the economy world about a rational participant, there's something called the rational self-interest in the free market. If somebody wants to look after themselves, if a person wants to be wealthy, they're going to create a business, and it's going to, them looking after their own self-interest is only rational because of everybody else who benefits. Jobs are created, another industry is created. When it comes to, I want to sell shoes, well, that one, or somebody makes shoes, but the only reason why making shoes is profitable because there's somebody who opens up a store to sell those shoes. And so these things are considered to be the invisible hand, Adam Smith's invisible hand, in his Wealth of Nations book. And so George Soros, he doesn't believe in that. He says, what? George Soros' the human uncertainty principle challenges the traditional economic assumption of rational actors in perfect markets. Remember the theory of perfect competition. While the theory of perfect competition assumes that markets operate efficiently with fully rational participants. Number one, human uncertainty principle by Soros. It's based on his theory of reflexivity and argues that humans do not have perfect knowledge of reality because they are part of the system they are trying to understand. Markets are influenced by human biases and perceptions, leading to irrational booms and busts. Hence, a market that's just booming because everybody sees, oh, there's an opportunity here, and only so much then. And he thinks globalization causes that because somebody who's not even from a country can invest in that country all these millions of dollars. And a lot of times it's these growing economies that these people see opportunity over there, and they create this big boom. And then they pull all their money out, and it leaves that economy screwed over. And so, let's look at his uncertainty principle. Uncertainty is fundamental. Unlike in physics, where uncertainty exists but follows laws, human decision-making is inherently unpredictable. A key idea: market participants influence market outcomes through their flawed beliefs, creating self-reinforcing and self-defeating cycles. For example, financial bubbles. Example, in a stock market bubble, investors believe prices will rise. They buy more, prices rise further, their belief is reinforced, the bubble eventually bursts. Meaning that they invest in it because they believe people are going to buy that at that price, which is profitable for them until that bubble bursts. Considers a boom and a bust. Number two, theory of perfect competition. Classical economists, theory of perfect competition, which is classical economists. They believe in a free market. Let the market play out. Let people compete and create jobs. And don't interfere. Laissez-faire. The theory of perfect competition assumes an ideal market where the theory of perfect competition assumes an ideal market where all participants are rational and have perfect information about prices and products. No single buyer or seller can influence the market. But people are too powerful. Sometimes where that person says to invest, he might create this sort of speculation, right? And he's so influential, he causes people to speculate on this specific idea. And George Soros actually did that before. So the theory of perfect competition assumes markets always clear, meaning supply and demand automatically balance, creating an equilibrium. Equilibrium means at that price, or no, at that supply, there's a demand for that equally, and that price is there's a price where people are and people are perfectly willing to buy at that price, and that's considered to be an equilibrium. That's the supply and demand are at a perfect equilibrium price, a perfectly equilibrium balance, and no externalities or irrational behavior disrupt the system. That's the theory of perfect competition, the classical economists. A key idea: in a perfectly competitive market, prices reflect true value and resources are allocated efficiently. Like, it's only at that price because people are only willing to buy it for that price. Like, it's not at that price because it's set there by somebody. It's not an arbitrary thing. It's a thing there because it's objective, and like, because they think, well, if you have a free market and people compete, people are either willing to pay for a really good product or they're going to pay for the cheaper product. Hence, that's a cheaper price because it's not as good as that one. But that's an inferior good. People are going to, there's a market for all that. Example, if the price of wheat rises, more farmers will produce wheat, increasing supply and lowering prices back to equilibrium. Because there's a large supply of it, because it seems the price of wheat is going high. The law of supply, supplier says, hey, it makes sense to produce what's being demanded, so somebody needs to supply it. Hence, they're going to supply enough of it. The price comes down because they have to sell what they produced, and it will bring it back to equilibrium. That balance, the supply and demand automatic balance. Soros versus perfect competition. The key differences. The concept. Market behavior. So Soros's human uncertainty principle. Markets are driven by biases and reflexivity, people's perceptions, what people believe. So the theory of perfect competition when it comes to market behavior: markets operate rationally and efficiently if left alone. No regulation. Let people go to work and produce, right? Don't regulate. Don't worry about the environment. Don't worry about labor laws, nothing like that. Just let people compete and let their rational self-interest make the best possible product they can. So another concept, information. When it comes to Soros's human uncertainty principle, investors have imperfect knowledge leading to mispricing. And when it comes to the theory of perfect competition, when it comes to the concept of information, all participants have perfect information. All right, another concept, price formation. Human uncertainty principle says prices are influenced by perceptions and speculation. The theory of perfect competition says that price formation, the prices reflect true value based on supply and demand. All right, the concept of market stability. When it comes to human uncertainty principle, markets are prone to booms, bubbles, and crashes. The theory of perfect competition says on market stability that markets naturally self-correct. All right, when it comes to the concept of the role of the government, which is pretty funny that ChatGPT would add this to this little sort of a column and rows of Soros versus perfect competition, the key differences. So the concept of the role of government, Soros's human uncertainty principle says that some regulation is necessary to prevent instability. The theory of perfect competition says that the role of government should be minimal, or there should be no government intervention needed at all. So George Soros is saying, well, no, that's not really right. Like, it's not like that at all. There's shady people going to take advantage where advantage can be taken. And so there should be some regulations. Remember, the pure classical economist says, we don't need no government intervention. At this point, guys, there's already too much regulation and centralized government. At least they're trying. And so it just sort of, it's all screwed up right now in a sense. and it looks like Trump's trying to clean it up. So why does this matter? The human uncertainty principle versus the theory of perfect competition. Humans are uncertainty, right? Humans are uncertain, and the theory of humans perfect competition, or nothing's perfect. And so why does this matter? Mainstream economics, which are proponents of perfect competition, assumes markets are self-correcting and rational. George Soros's human uncertainty principle argues that is unrealistic. The markets aren't self-correcting and rational. Markets are influenced by human emotions, biases, and speculation, often leading to crises. This is why Soros is critical of market fundamentalism and laissez-faire policies, advocating for some level of government regulation to manage financial instability. And ChatGPT asked me if I would like a real-world example where these theories clashed. I'm all right. So I want to kind of give you that idea, the idea of George Soros's human uncertainty principle versus the theory of perfect competition, which I came across in his book I'm reading right now. I'm going to do another video where I think he actually proved his point. And he did it in a huge way. He speculated on the British pound in 1992. I might do a video right now about it, but I also want to read too. I got to go to work soon, but peace, y'all.